Phoenix Suns did what I expected them to do, and they went ahead and flamed out in this year's NBA playoffs. As soon as the Phoenix Suns went ahead and signed Bradley Beal and traded for him last year, I knew this Phoenix team was going to flame out because I just knew it wasn't going to work with Devin Booker and Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant, and also this team having no depth at all. So you know what I'm going to go ahead and do? I'm going to go ahead and dive deep into these, this team's problems, explain really what went wrong with this team, because like I said, this team got some problems. They're not going to go ahead and win a championship anytime soon, especially with this core they have. I even made a video back when they traded for Bradley Beal saying they weren't going to win a championship, and some people were like, no, just wait and see, they're going to prove you wrong, they're going to prove you wrong. They did not prove me wrong. I was 100% right. But before I get into this breakdown, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. It's very much appreciated. Around the road to 3,000 subscribers. Are getting closer and closer day by day. I appreciate all y'all. Go follow my TikTok, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my reel, all at Crumble Takes, and let's get straight into the video. So to start off, let's talk about the big three of the Phoenix Suns: Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant, because there's an obvious problem here, and all I'm gonna say is it does not involve Kevin Durant. So let's talk about him just to get it out the way. Kevin Durant is still hooping at age 35, 27.6 rebounds, 5 assists per game, and he's shooting at 52.3 field goal percentage and shooting at 41% from 3. This guy is still hooping. He's still that guy, and he can still do some insane things on the court. He is not the problem whatsoever. And he also went ahead and played 75 games this year, so he was also healthy at age 35, which is huge. The real problem with this big three is the Bradley Beal, Devin Booker point guard situation, and that's what you want to go ahead and call it. So as you guys should know, Devin Booker is a shooting guard. Bradley Beal is also a shooting guard. They're both not labeled as, a traditional point guard. They're both ball dominant guards that are going to want to go ahead and go to the hoop and score. They're not really going to be out there to go ahead and make some playmaking plays like a normal point guard would, and that is the problem with this. When you got two ball dominant guards and you don't have a point guard whatsoever, the offense is going to get lost at times, and they're not going to know what to do. And that was really a huge problem when the Suns gave up a ton of money and traded that stuff for Bradley Beal this offseason. Because the first thing I questioned was, I was like, who's going to play point guard? Chris Paul was the point guard before. I'm like, Bradley Beal and Devin Booker are both ball dominant guards. Why isn't no one like, who's going to play point guard? And throughout the season, they went ahead and I guess just had Booker playing point guard, but as you can see in the end, it really didn't work as well as, as it potentially should have. Devin Booker didn't have a bad year whatsoever, but as you can see in the end, they went ahead and got swept to Minnesota. And I feel like their team would have been a little bit better if they didn't trade for Bradley Beal and went ahead and, got a traditional point guard. And with that situation, I truly believe this team was doomed from the start with this situation. And this offseason, well, they're kind of stuck with it unless they want to go ahead and trade Devin Booker. I know Stephen A reports were false, but still there's stuff that's coming out about Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, first round picks getting traded, which I think is crazy. I would go ahead, keep my picks and keep Josh Hart and keep Dante. But this offseason, if Devin Booker for some reason did get moved, I guess they can move Bradley Beal to the 2 and then bring in a traditional point guard. But I truly believe this Phoenix team is stuck, because honestly, I don't think Devin Booker is going to go ahead and leave this offseason. I feel like that's nonsense, and they can't go ahead and trade Bradley Beal. That goofy contract that they went ahead and gave him, no one is taking on that contract. I'm telling you guys right now, the Suns are honestly so stupid for giving him all this money. It's absolutely ridiculous, especially with a guy who's been out with injuries throughout the year and haven't seen a lot of playoff success and hasn't really done much. Paying him this money, some top dollar money in the NBA, when you're not even a top 10 player in the NBA, is all around insane. And that's not the only problem with this Phoenix Sun team. They got some other problems, and that other problem being, the depth of the team. When the offseason first started, they're like, oh, the Suns making some moves, they added some depth, the Suns might not be that bad this year, they're not gonna have a depth problem this year. Oh, they had a depth problem this year, all right, and it was a huge problem. Probably their second biggest problem, if not their first biggest problem, behind this point guard situation. In the offseason, they went ahead and traded for Grayson Allen, which as a Bucks fan, I wanted that man off my team. And of course, he goes to the Suns and starts lighting it up, making a ton of threes, and the Suns give him a fat contract. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, guys, Grayson Allen's going to be a huge playoff dropper this year. I knew it immediately as a Bucks fan. I know what that man does. And he went ahead and did it. Of course, he got hurt in this year's playoffs, but still, them first few games that he played, major playoff dropper. He was not hooping whatsoever. And this bench rotation was pretty much, it was pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. Of course, they had Eric Gordon, which he's really old. They got Royce O'Neal, Josh Okogie. This Suns team was so down bad throughout the season. They went ahead and signed Isaiah Thomas, and they also went ahead and signed Bol Bol. As soon as I saw these signings, I'm like, this Sun team is desperate. How desperate desperate you gotta be to go ahead and sign Isaiah Thomas, which I'm not an Isaiah Thomas hater. I love the dude, but we know he's past his prime now. And to also go ahead and sign Bol. I know Bol World on Twitter was freaking out, even though he's not extinct anymore, really. But man, you're signing Bol. Come on now. This team is so unserious, and the way that it was built is so unserious. And I really know this team's in a bad place because the quotes that the owner has made since their season has ended has been very, very weird. Like, one of the quotes were like 26 teams would go ahead and trade for their team. I don't think anybody would want the situation that Phoenix is currently in. The new owner so far, he clearly does not know what he's doing as running a basketball operation, that's for sure. And you can even said it, there was a quote that I think he went ahead and said, I'm gonna post it up here right now, where he was talking about it's like Looney Tunes around here. Yeah, the Phoenix Suns are in a horrible spot, and if Kevin Durant requests the trade, I wouldn't even be mad at him at that point, because this Phoenix franchise is all of a sudden just unserious. Also, you guys want to go ahead and talk about draft picks? Well, the Phoenix Suns upcoming draft picks, they got a second round pick in 2024 and they got a second round pick in 2028. Besides that, they have no draft picks. Now, do I think there's any way the Phoenix Suns can go ahead and fix this team? Well, to be honest with you guys, this team is pretty bad. It's gonna be pretty hard to go ahead and fix this team. I know there's reports coming out that they want to go ahead and fire Frank Vogel, which honestly, firing a coach like Frank Vogel, that's not gonna fix any of the problems that Phoenix have. I don't even know if Eric Spoelstra could come in here and fix the problems that Phoenix has. Coaching is not an issue for the Phoenix Suns. It's the fact they don't have a point guard, they don't have depth, they have an unserious owner, they just don't know what they're really doing in Phoenix, and I don't really know if this is fixable. I mean, what, you're gonna go ahead and trade Devin Booker for some pieces, but I'm not so sure if Kevin Durant can go ahead and lead a team to a championship, because we saw in Brooklyn, even all the injuries and stuff like that, he really hasn't been able to go ahead and do that. And then what, you would have Bradley Beal's second option. Bradley Beal hasn't done anything in I don't know how many years. Like, this year he was so mid, and of course he was injured for a ton of the year as well. As I mentioned earlier, it's not like they can go ahead and trade Bradley Beal. They gave him all that money, they're stuck with him until his contract runs out. Absolutely nobody wants that. So do I think this Phoenix Sun team is fixable? Honestly, probably not at this point. Like, you have no draft picks, you have a ton of contracts, there's really nothing that they can go ahead and do. In order to like fully fix this team, they would just have to all around just blow it up, trade everyone, trade Booker, try to trade KD, get draft picks. I feel like that's truly the only way this Phoenix team can go ahead and fix themselves, because they aren't winning a championship with this roster. And even if the offseason they go ahead and make some moves and stuff, I truly don't think that still they're gonna go ahead and win a championship. I'm just not so sure if Kevin Durant can go ahead and lead a team to a championship as a first option, even though he technically did it at Golden State. There's conversations that he was the first option instead of Kevin Durant hasn't done anything without Steph Curry, and that's just fact. So do I think this Phoenix Sun team is fixable? Honestly, no. They're stuck in this position, and I feel like they're going to be stuck in this position for a while. But that's going to be the video for today, guys. If you enjoyed, please drop a like and subscribe. It's very much appreciated. Follow my Instagram, Twitter, Reel, TikTok, all that crumble takes, and hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.